everyone. Welcome back to MMA Oddsbreaker. I'm sitting here with OSP, the great Ovince St. Preux. Ovince, I feel like I know you already, even though this is probably the first time we've ever spoken to each other because I watched Marwan Allo and the rest of the crew call you over at Strikeforce, and I fell in love with your much. First with Showtime, now about to see you in the UFC. That they think they've seen you a lot more than they actually have.
I think a lot of people would say that just because back in 2010, and the whole year, I guess that calendar year itself, I had like eight fights that year. So that's why a lot of people. I just kept on being active the whole time.
Is that what you like to do? Do you want to be that active all the time, or are you going to slow down now?
I mean, I do, but sometimes it has an upside to it. I mean, you're making money, but the downside to it is you're not actually, getting back to the gym and actually learning new stuff and actually sharpening up stuff. So, I mean, it's good to keep active, but at the same time, you always want to kind of step back and kind of, always want to change up your game. Mixed martial arts is still fairly new sport, and every day something's changing within it.
You're getting ready to fight Villante, who's 12-3 at the fight this next weekend. It's a big card. It's Chael Sonnen versus John Jones in New Jersey, UFC 159. This is a really, really big card. First, what I want you to do for me though is break down how you see Gian when you watch his fights and you see him on tape. How do you break down your opponent's style?
Just by the way they move, the type of style they have. He definitely has an aggressive type of style. He's constantly coming forward. He fought at heavyweight before, and also at light heavyweight. So he got. I mean, he was knocking guys heavyweights out. So you definitely know he got knockout power. Very fast for his size, athletic. Just like me, he comes from a football background too. So it kind of. I definitely know he's an explosive fighter, just like I am. So just pretty much something. Basically, stylistically, almost like I am. Definitely got a good wrestling pedigree too, just because he wrestled in college, was an All-American in high school also too. So he definitely got some tools that are definitely good about him too. So
what did you have to work more on specifically for this fight to get ready? Were you working on your striking more? Were you working on your wrestling more? Were you working on your jiu-jitsu more? Which one of the three did you work on more specifically for this fight?
Practically everything. It's just like everything from my striking, my wrestling, my jiu-jitsu, but also too my cardio too. I'm a explosive type of fighter, so the downside to that is within a fight I'm going to get tired. But luckily, with me, the punches that I throw in the first round, the power punches that I throw in the first round, I'm capable of throwing those power punches in the second and third round too. Okay. Just because of the common fact that a while back I got my lactic acid checked, and it don't start building up in my system until like 96% of my heart rate.
Oh wow!
Which is pretty much there's times I got my heart rate up to 195, and basically, like I still feel perfectly fine.
That's. I was actually talking about heart rate monitoring today. I went on a bike ride today and rode 30 miles. And we were talking about heart rate, like how people are able to do certain things at certain levels, and to be able to have your heart rate that high and maintain it is incredible. That's a really, really good heart rate monitor. But then it should also show that you can go a lot harder later into the fight. So you can start off a little bit quicker and maintain that pace into the third round. Is that what we're going to see you doing now a little bit more? Is upping your pace now because now you know that you're able to do that and you've had the science behind it now to show it to you? Are you going to start picking up the pace a lot sooner and jumping all over these guys quicker?
I mean, that's what I want to do, but at the same time, I don't also want to up my pace, but actually get myself in a situation where I think I can finish a guy and actually my heart rate jump out the roof, and I have to back out. When I back out, I'm trying to, circle around, get my heart rate back down so I can actually start working again. So it's kind of tricky to play with it because in a fight it's always tricky. You always want to keep up a certain pace, and when you have that pace, you want to keep it going so the guy can eventually fall off. But a lot of times with mixed martial arts, it's just hard just because you keep the pace going, but then after that, it's just like you might have to turn it up a little.
Right.
And you didn't want to turn it up at that moment, and next thing you know, you're kind of paying for it a little later.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's tricky.
Now, who's your strength and conditioning coach?
My strength and conditioning coach is Nate Hoffmeister. He's actually the head strength and conditioning coach at a local high school here in Knoxville, Tennessee, at a CAK. So I've been with him for the past probably two and a half, 3 years now, and since I've been with him, I mean, like my cardio been up, my strength went up, explosive level. It's been ridiculous. The way what he did, what he helped me with, it's been ridiculous.
Wow,
So,
that's good. Now, who's going to come corner you? Who's going to be in your corner when you fight this weekend?
this weekend when I fight, it's going to be my head coach, Eric Turner, Joey Zonar. He's one of the other coaches, and my strength coach, Nate Hoffmeister. He's going to actually be in my corner.
Who do you train with on a regular basis? Like, who are some of your training partners?
Well, for this camp, I actually went down to Atlanta, which is probably about 3 hours. So I was down at the cooler, Brian Stann gym. Those guys opened me with open arms and stuff. And definitely got good work with them. With Brian, Raymond definitely good wrestling coach. Who else was down there? Jucal.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this dude is ridiculous. Jiu-jitsu, wow. He's ridiculous. He was down there. I got a lot of work with Jucal. And a lot of the guys, Kendrick, let me see, Alan Belcher came down there for a couple of days.
Yep.
Even Manu, the kickboxing coach, I got a lot of work with him too.
I actually got to hang out with the kickboxing coach and Brian Stann last summer in LA for like 4 or 5 days, and it was incredible the stuff that he was showing me. And I've been around the game a long time, and he's showing me some little tricks and some little baits and stuff that were just amazing. Did you notice right away after like a week or so of training down there that all of a sudden, you know, your game was really starting to improve very quickly down there because you're getting a new look and a new feel about how you're training and who you're training with?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, the biggest thing about me is you're just like, I guess once you talk, when you put me in a situation, you teach me something, and it don't take long for me to pick up on it. So I definitely was happy about it just because I can be like, okay, I can bring this back. I can use this. This is more my style and stuff. Because he watches you a lot, and he watches me, and he was like, okay, you're a southpaw fighter and stuff, but you switch a lot. But also, too, you can fight both ways. You're very explosive in both ways. And basically, for my size, he was like, you move really, really well, actually a little too well for your size. And, I mean, he told me that. I was like, I'm just going to keep on rolling with it.
Good, okay. Has there been any added pressure to you coming onto this UFC? Because a lot of the guys who are jumping over from Strikeforce, before the fight, not so much, but then after the fight, they realized, there was a lot more pressure.
I mean, of course, I've been watching can you repeat that one more time?
I'm saying, have you seen, the added pressure? Has there been any extra added pressure to you from the jump over to the UFC?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, practically jumping the right way too. It's just like, as long as I continue doing what I'm doing, being the type of fighter I've been, I think I'm going to be perfectly fine. And I mean, I like giving the crowds a good show, and it's just one of them things that I'm going to stick to. Is just giving the crowds a good show. So that's the biggest thing about me. But at the end of the day, as long as when I get my hand raised, it's good too.
Well, Vince, I appreciate you coming on here on a Sunday. I know it's your break day and it's the week before the fight. I really appreciate it. But 2 more questions before I let you out of here. What are you weighing right now? It's Sunday. You make weight on this next Friday coming up. How much do you weigh right now?
I checked my weight. When I checked my weight this morning, I was probably about 223.
Okay.
Yeah, probably about 223.
Perfect.
So,
and then Thursday.
Yes, I'm basically on track to where I want to be.
And when you wake up Friday morning, what are you going to weigh?
When I wake up Friday morning, I'll probably weigh about 213.
Oh, okay, good.
So I'll probably about 213 and just cut that Friday morning and I'll be fine.
Oh,
but Friday night, if you ask me what I weigh Friday night, probably about 225.
Yeah, I was guessing you go all the way back up I was going to guess about 220, 222. So, yeah, you're right in that neighborhood. Come Friday night and come fight time, you'll be right in that neighborhood again. So, It's perfect.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right, well, thanks, Ovince. I really appreciate you coming on here, OSP, and good luck against Gian when you're coming up here in UFC 159. I really appreciate you coming on MMA Oddsbreaker. Lex McMahon finally got us. I've been begging him to get you on with me, and Lex finally put it together, so I appreciate it.